Hey guys, it's been a while. The first thing I want to say is moving is hard. I don't know if I told you guys before. I basically dropped off the face of the planet, but I was getting ready for a move. Ugh, okay, so I moved my older sister first, and then my parents needed to be moved to a completely different state, 2 states away. Um, so that was like took way longer than we thought it would. So I spent a long time doing that. And then as soon as I was done with them, I actually needed to move, which I had not planned to move. But my landlord just sprang on me that they were going to increase my rent by like $400 a month. And I was like, okay, bye. I'll find a different place to live. It's nice knowing you. So had to quickly figure that out. Then during the moving process, I have a spare refrigerator that's actually like a Pepsi refrigerator from a convenience store that I somehow ended up with. And when I went to move it, I actually mashed my fingers. So I couldn't use them for a really long time. And I thought that I lost the sense of feeling in my ring finger. But it has been peeling for a couple weeks now. And I'm now getting a sense of feeling back. So I guess it's just like gross, the layers of dead skin that I wasn't being able to feel through. Anyway, so I'm back. I'm going to be doing stuff. I will be active once again. And because my hand is healed, I will be able to type and write. So, like I said, moving is hard. If you're rich, I definitely suggest hiring somebody else to do it for you. If you're poor like me, I suggest making lots and lots of friends so that you never have to do it alone. All right, throwing that out there. Um, Now that I've said that, time to introduce a new series that I'm doing. So, I've talked to you guys previously about how I did a retelling of Icarus, and I'm still working on my retelling of Medusa. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and I just had like this epiphany, bolt of lightning. I did not. I had a really enjoyable conversation. And then he made a comment about how it was interesting learning about the Greek Pantheon because he didn't know as much as I do because I spend like a lot of time apparently looking into it. So, I thought I would start a new series where I just kind of like talk to you guys about characters from Greek mythology. So once a week, I'm gonna do a new in-depth dive into a different character. So the first one I'm gonna do is near and dear to my heart. I'm gonna do the goddess Melinoe. The reason the goddess Melinoe is near and dear to my heart is because my puppy is named after her. I call her Melly, but her name is Melinoe. So I'm gonna share screen because I want you guys to see what I am talking about. Except I suddenly, oh, here it is. Oh, I know I had it up. I always have way too many windows up, you guys. Okay, so I opened several windows so I could kind of like go over some stuff with you guys. But first of all, it is spelled differently, but because it's Greek and it's got the accent over it, it makes that oi sound. So it is pronounced Melanoe. You can Google it if you don't believe me. But Melanoe is the short of it. She is the daughter of Hades and Persephone. She is considered to be the goddess of nightmares and madness, as well as the restless dead. So, ghosts. There is argument that in some of the stories, her father is actually Zeus, because one of the versions says that Persephone met um, Zeus at the head of a river that was between, it's where Earth meets the underworld. And, you know, stuff happened. And next thing you know, she pops out a baby. Basically, though, there is an argument that in that version, it doesn't say that it's actually Zeus. It says it's the child of Kronos, which is also Hades. So it could be interpreted as being Zeus or Hades. Either way, Persephone is recorded as having never willfully cheated on her husband. So if it was Zeus, then he looked like Hades, um, and he was tricking her. But in case you don't know, Zeus is Persephone's father. So I get really kind of ewed out thinking of that. And I don't see like a lot of foundation for Zeus being after Persephone or even being interested in her in that way. So because it's open to interpretation and debate, I say that Persephone uh, actually, you know, had relations with Hades, her husband, and that Melinoe is the the product of that, not the product of Zeus. Because again, ew. Um, excuse me, I'm getting a little tickle in my throat. All right, so yeah, all right, so here it says, what is Melinoe the goddess of? It says she's the bringer of nightmares and madness. Um, this Orphic hymn that's being referred to here, the short of it is she brings madness to the people who have wrongfully uh, either killed or wronged the dead in some way. So she's basically enacting vengeance for restless spirits, um, the way I understand it. So she only brings nightmares and madness to the people who are not careful with the dead. Um, and then there's this huge thing about like, is Melinoe actually Hecate? And we'll talk about who Hecate is in a different episode. But basically, Hecate is older than the Greek Pantheon. And what that means is that she was a religious deity that got absorbed into Greek mythology. And that when the Greeks took over whatever area and enslaved whatever group of people, they believed in the goddess Hecate. And so she became one of the Greek gods because it must have been like a larger population of people. So Persephone, Nyx, and Dione are all mentioned as being aspects of Hecate's character, and Melinoe is as well. Um, yeah. Okay. So basically, Melinoe is a chthonic nymph or goddess. Chthonic just means that she's a goddess of the underworld. Um, She's represented as a bringer of nightmares and madness. The name also appears as a metal tablet in association with Persephone. The hymns are of an uncertain date, but are probably composed in the second or third century AD. In the hymn, Melinoe has characteristics that seem similar to Hecate and the Erinyes. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but they're the furies, which they previously, if you killed somebody of your own flesh, the Furies would hunt you to the ends of the earth and then rip you apart, because that was considered an unforgivable sin. Um, so the name is sometimes thought to be an epithet to Hecate, and she is described as a moon goddess in Greek poetry. Okay, her name means being of a quince color, or being like very pale. It's the color of death. But in some stories, especially like the one where Zeus is the father, when Hades sees the product of Persephone and Zeus's tryst, he actually grabs Melinoe and rips her in half. And so she's depicted in lots of images as being half white and half black. In other stories, because of where their union happened between the world of the living and the world of the dead, She's said that she's white and black because one represents life and one represents death. Um, I like that version better. If you're looking for my opinion, sure, probably not, so it's fine. Anyway, so she's considered to be a frightful underworld goddess. Um, at night, she wanders the earth with her train of ghosts, striking fear into the hearts of men. And she's not super kind to humans. Um, I am going to do a retelling for her. I really like her as a character. I think she's got a lot going on. I don't know what's up with these advertisements over here. Uh, okay, I'm looking for anything we haven't already discussed. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so here are some images representing her. So she's got the dark and the light. Um, again, with the dark and the light, she's cut in half. It's kind of like a yin and yang thing because she is like life and death, the way that she like walks between the two worlds. Um, but yeah, she's supposed to be like, which is interesting because like in a lot of the stories I've read about her, like humans are afraid of her, but she is this like champion of the wrongfully dead, like people who um are victims of some kind when they died, or their death was like unfortunate, um or they have some kind of oh, I can't think of the word. They're a restless spirit for a reason. There's something that's holding them back. And so she's there to try to um, resolve whatever issue may be keeping them from peace in their afterlife. And so I don't understand why she's such like a feared character, because you'd think that people would be like pleased that she's their guardian and she's looking out for them. Um, eh, but I don't know. So because she came along so late, the second or third century AD, there's not a lot of stories around her. And that's probably why she's like one of my favorite, because I just feel like there's a lot going on there, and that literary wise, they barely scratched the surface. And so she's definitely somebody like I want to talk more about. Anyway, this is my Melinoe. Okay, guys, I don't know what happened there. It just stopped recording. Probably my computer being mad at me. But anyway, I was trying to show you a picture of my super cute puppers. This is my Melinoe, my, protector and total nightmare. And she was a total nightmare when I got her. But she is just such a love bug, and I'm so lucky to have her. All right, so that was the goddess Melinoe, one of the lesser known deities. And like I said, I will be writing a retelling of her because she seems like such an intriguing character, and like, kind of like a Batman character, if I'm really gonna like nerd out about it, because it feels like she's like the protector of the small, but people are afraid of her and don't appreciate what she does for them. But she's really there for the people. Anyway, I really like her. So, hope you enjoyed that. And we'll be doing more. So, like, subscribe, tell your friends, all the things, all the things. And I'll see you guys next time.